Hey everybody, it is Nuke here out in lovely Las Vegas, and you know what time of the month it is? It is time for the monthly market update where I cover everything involving the housing market here in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. So you have the straight dope on what's going on, and you are completely educated in Las Vegas housing market and what's going on in the rest of the country, so you can make the best educated decision whether you're a buyer or seller. And if you're finding this information a little bit helpful to you, please hit that like button. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate you joining the club. And before I go too far, I'd like to mention I also offer that free buyer's education course. It was free to you. I actually had to pay for all of the information and provide you access to it. So you are getting this gratis, and I'm not asking for any money from anybody, just to educate you more on purchasing a home. So let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. And now, of course, we are looking at the numbers that are put out by the Las Vegas Realtors Association. I like to go by that for the monthly report, and of course supplement it with a little bit of what's really going on at the present moment. So right now we have 3,209 units sold by the end of September, which is down 1.9% compared against last year. And finally, that median sales price has come in, and it's starting to hold its ground. I said it was going to hold it. It is now $406,500. It was only $405 last month. 2 straight months of holding its ground. Just $1,500 more this month, which is actually outstanding. I would almost call that 3 straight months of no growth in prices, which is great for everyone. So now we've taken a nice steady pause from everything that's gone on. So as we go into it, we have our new listings. Those have come on the market. So for the month of September, we had 3,689 new listings, which is still down 4.2%. So we're still not getting those numbers that we need just yet. And that median list price of the new ones is $430,000, which is up 21.5% from last year. Right now, sitting on the market, we have 3,463 units, which is unfortunately down 27.8% from last year. But there's a good news here. Good news. We are now up to 1.1 months of inventory, which is down. Last year we were at about 2 months of inventory. So that's for those of you who are hoping that housing prices are going to go down a little bit more, or start to go down, who've been sitting on the fence going, I'm waiting for prices to go down. When you have 1.1 months of inventory, that's not going to happen. Normal inventory is 5 to 6 months of inventory. That's balanced. When it goes over 6 months, it's a buyer's market. Anything less than that is a seller's market. At 1.1, we are still in a seller's market, but at least prices have just gotten so high now that the buyers just can't buy, and that's one of the problems that we're having, because that income hasn't kept up. Of course, we got a lot of inflation out there, so people have got to put that money there. Oil is back up to $85 a barrel. As you can see when you go around the stores, food costs more, so people got to divert those funds into other things right now. So that is having an effect on the housing market. Now we go into that townhome and condo. Right now, for the month of September, we had 869 sold, which was 19.7% more than last year. Why is that? Well, let's look. The median price was $230,000, which is up 17.6%. Well, let's look. 406,500, 230. lot of people are pushing into that. I remember months ago I would tell people, well, if you just can't get that home that you want right now, that single family home, look for a nice townhome, because they don't have 30 offers. And then the townhomes started having 30 offers, and so we're now in this little problem that we have. So that's pushing up those prices. People are rushing into a market that used to just, even like 5-6 months ago, they would still sit there for a few weeks. They're not sitting there anymore. Those are moving. Now, as far as new listings, it's a 1-for-1 match. 869 came on the market, which is actually down from last year, so I'm probably going to see more upward pressure on prices. There are 628 units available, which is down 58.8% from last year, and that gives us an effective inventory of 0.7 months at the end of September. Oh my goodness. It's worse in the condo and townhome market than in the single family home market, which is a complete flipping over of everything that we've had in the past. Now, getting back to some of these numbers, median, that's great. That's when you take all the houses somewhere in the middle. I always like to explain a little bit. But that average, everybody likes to know, hey, am I average? Well, the average home sale price for single family residence was $485,400. And in the townhome and condo set category, it was $251,285. So as you can see, in both categories, the average is still higher than the median, which means you've got some high-priced properties out there pulling that to the right, or as they say in statistics, or as when I was in college we called it sadistics, a right-leaning skew. For the first time, I've decided I'm going to actually give you the raw numbers in this, and in the description below you'll find a link to get the PDF that's actually put out by the board. If you ever want to be able to download that and have it for yourself, that PDF is there for you now. So you'll have that. Enjoy it. It's put out by the board anyway. You may as well have it so you know what's going on. And now I'm just going to go quickly into some of the national stuff, because hey, it's not just local. Real estate is national, even though they say all real estate is local. And now we're talking about the national news. And if you go to this website here, I'm actually going to put that down in the description. We talk about the conforming loan limits. Conforming loan limits, that is the amount that you're allowed to borrow to have a regular conventional loan or an FHA loan. And for whatever reason now, I don't say whatever reason, but it's really cool, for VA loan, there are no loan limits. And right now, if you look, say like here in all of Nevada, the limit that you can borrow for a conforming loan is $548,250. And I want to correct myself real quickly, because somebody's going to go like, he's wrong, FHA is lower. It is. It's a different amount. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was conventional FHA have limits. VA does not. For conventional loans, these are the limits. Now, if you look, this map is kind of color coded here because you got them high priced areas like San Francisco, New York City, where you have higher loans. So like if you go on out here and you go to San Benito County, the loan limit is $822,375. If you go out to my favorite place, Hawaii, on Isle of Oahu, it's the same amount, $822,375. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is to talk about 2022, because we're just a few months out, especially if you're looking to buy next year and you're starting to bump up against those prices. Here's what's going on. Even though they have not officially been announced, it's been announced. The new loan limit for next year is going to be $625,000. So if you're holding off or you're talking about I'm waiting until January, even though you probably shouldn't, because right now we're entering that period where you're going to have the best chance to buy a house. If you're waiting and you're looking over that magic number, you've got some more ammunition to wait, because you're going to have almost another $75,000 you can get a loan on just by waiting a couple of months. Okay, now we're on the Fred data. This is a website I only found out about a few days ago, and it is fantastic. It's actually put out by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Who knew? And they have some fantastic data. I guess they're the ones in charge of gathering housing data. So if you look, you can actually tell nationally what the average price of a home. So I'm looking at the average price of a home. So you look back and you go back to the top of the last market before things kind of went down. We had that little crash thing. The average price was $322,100. If you look at the very bottom, or what it says was the very bottom, it's kind of debatable. You kind of have two little bottoms here, but I'm just going to use the bottom before we went into the current takeoff. It showed that the average price was $259,700, and as of, which is going to be wrong because they can't keep up because it's moving so fast, it shows that as end of Q2, second quarter, which would be honestly January, February, March, April, May, June, end of June, the average price of a home in the United States was $434,200. I can't wait until they get these latest numbers in. It's going to be interesting. So you see, it's just going on up there, and it's going to keep on going up for a bit unless some things change, and I hope actually things change without things getting bad. Month supply of houses in the United States. So this is a really good one. It is showing how many months of supply of houses. If you look at the worst of the crisis, there was 12.2 months of houses. So over a year of houses nationwide. Right now, nationwide, interesting. It says there's 6 months. So nationally, and that's through the end of August of this year. So according to this, we should be in a balanced market right now. Let's keep going back here. So if you back it up just by months, it dropped down to an extreme seller's market. And then now we're talking nationally, but it keeps climbing. Something's happening. Fewer and fewer people are willing to pay, so they're not buying. So it's not dependent just on the number of houses on the market, it's the number of people buying. As they run out of money, as they have to spend their money on gas for the car, groceries for the belly and to live, they don't have money to spend on buying an overpriced house. And it's starting to show up. And that's what cannot lead to this. So I've talked about it before. Because your neighbor got $50,000 more than their list price for their house, be glad they got $50,000 over, because you got $50,000 over. Get how that works? Don't go, well, I want $50,000 over too. They got you your $50,000 over, because if they didn't get $50,000 over, you couldn't have set a list price as high as you set. So those errors, I'm going to say, unless something really happens bad, that's done. No one's getting that again for a bit, other than some pockets in the economy. I know I talked on my Sunday live stream. If any of you took a look at it, you know what, maybe I'll just link it here. You can see it. I was talking about an agent in North Carolina who I spoke with last week, and she was talking about the walkaway money and stuff like that, and you really should see that portion of it. It's really good. So, don't want to keep you too long. Let's go ahead and talk about Freddie Mac. This is a really good map here. And let's see, on this one we talk about the housing price index. They set the index in the year 2000, so that was like 100 and then everything from there. So nationally, the price of homes have gone up 248% since the year 2000. So if you bought a house in 2000, you are now the lucky recipient of 2.5 times what you paid for it. And that includes the downturns we had in the market and everything else in between that. What's really cool, you can actually go in here and you can put in your local area. So like you can come in, type in Las Vegas, and boom, you can actually see from that 2000 era where houses have changed. So you can kind of guesstimate, like when you bought your house, what it should be worth now based upon this government data. And what's really cool, if you look at the Las Vegas market, or you can look at any other market, you can see how the market tracked through every other house throughout the country. So if you're a geek like me, hey, you got it all here. So all the geekdom is down below. And of course, if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that. And if you need any kind of help, my contact information is below. If you're looking to buy a home in the Las Vegas or Henderson area, or you're looking to sell a home, I give no obligation, come and look, sees, and also have a cash offer program that right now is giving market value and sometimes above. So take a look at that. See you guys next week.